Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video ends when I get en passant checkmate on Martin. Now I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to go about this, but I know that I need to keep at least one pawn on the 7th rank, position another pawn on the 5th rank, and then get the king somewhere on the side so I can en passant into checkmate. That's a lot easier said than done, so I'll go ahead and just start with good development, trying to take all of his pieces. We'll accept a free pawn. Alright, and now that we've castled out of the way, we have to start thinking about which pawn we're going to try and hold back. Because it's not worth anything to me to capture all of his pieces if he ends up moving all of his pawns anyways. I think it would be easiest with one of the side pawns, although frankly Engine has a tendency to move side pawns a lot. But I do still think that it would be the easiest way to go about it. So I'll play bishop e5 right now, just targeting the rook. And I guess inadvertently targeting the queen, which we will accept. And he does in fact move one of his side pawns. And I think I'm going to target this pawn specifically. I'll lose the bishop, I don't really care, and I'm going to play bishop to b6 just to make sure that this pawn doesn't move anywhere. Right, he's Martin, so he ignores this threat and instead plays g4, which actually does create its own threat. I'll play knight to e5, centralizing my knight. And he plays f5, completely missing the free bishop. I'll go ahead and play bishop to d3, and my plan is to play a4, a5. Because I'd really like to cement this bishop on that square. This is going to be my dream pawn. So I have to keep it there for as long as I can. Play a5 now, and we're in a good position here. Now that I've cemented this pawn, I can go ahead and continue capturing all of Martin's pieces. So I'll play knight d2, just developing. Great, we'll play queen c2 and target the f5 pawn. We'll take it. Oh, and he doesn't take, he takes on e5 instead, which we can also recapture. And we pick up f5, still holding onto this pawn, which also means I need to hold on to this c3 pawn, which is protected by my b2 pawn in case anything gets sacrificed there. I'll go ahead and capture on g4. The knight does see my b6 bishop, but it's defended, so I can hold this pawn down on b7. We get rook to d8, which drops the rook to queen h4. We'll pick up the rook, and with any luck, we'll pick up one of these two pieces next. Nice. I would take the rook if it didn't hang b6. And I can't lose b6 because that's my only way to get en passant checkmate right now. So I'll take on d7. I guess we have this pawn as well, which is a candidate, but it's not stuck to anything yet. I have no reason to change my plan, so I'll play f4, looking to kind of bum rush him with all of my pawns. And we push. Okay, it's official. This is our only opportunity to create en passant checkmate. So I'll push. Push with check. And we have to actually be careful not to checkmate him here by accident. So I'll promote with a queen. He has to take it. I'll take. And I'll go ahead and pick up the rest of these pawns just for the sport of it. Check, we'll pick up this pawn. Great. He's still moving his king, and now I can actually think about how am I going to position him for that checkmate. We might have to get a little bit lucky on this, because I think what I need is to give check until he brings his king to capture this pawn. And then after that, I give check with my knight, king goes back, and hopefully I can play knight b6 and he won't capture it. Maybe that'll work? It seems a little bit hopeful, but we'll try it. Check. Check. Great, we'll push. We'll cut the king off so he doesn't get any ideas. Although I guess he can't go through anyways because of the knight and the pawn. We'll go ahead and promote with check. Great, and this is actually even better. Because now I can play check, and if he moves his king back, the pawn is pinned. So I can play knight to c4 without any concern, and follow up with knight to b6. So I'll give check. He plays back, and I'll play knight to c4. Looking to play knight to b6 to stick that pawn there for good. I'll play knight b6 now. His only move is king back to a7. And I'll go ahead and put this pawn in position on c5. All right, I think I need a queen on this light square diagonal. So I'll use this queen. I'll put her on e6 and then d5 to put her in position. Oh, he does push a5, which is kind of not the best. If I take, he plays back. I have to move my rook here so he can move back again. Rook back to b3, king a6. Starts walking down. Not a great position to be in for my purpose. I think it'll still work though, so we'll play check. Rook here so he can still move back. I'll play check again. And then rook a7, just give him the rook so it's out of the way. Great, now I can play queen to c4, and he still only has these two squares to move to. At some point, the actual move is like give away the knight, let him capture, give check, let him move out of the way, and then make a tempo. So maybe queen to h6. So he has to play b5 and then en passant. But en passant will never be checkmate if I'm not controlling this light square diagonal. So I'll go ahead and push for another queen, just so I can put her on the light square diagonal. We get promotion with check, so it's not a stalemate. And we'll move queen to h3 and then over to f3. All right, queen to f3. We're almost in position. All right, and let's see. Knight to a8. Hopefully he takes. Rook check. King has to come back. And after queen to h6, alleviating this pin, his only legal move. Oh, wait, he could play b6 too. That would be devastating. His other legal move is b5, and then we get that en passant checkmate. Oh my god, I just realized I've basically left this up to chance. I guess it was always going to be about chance though, right? You always have the option to play one or two squares. All right, we'll see how this plays out. We'll play knight to a8. He doesn't even bother to capture, but I think it still works. Check here, king or queen here, and then if b5, en passant is definitely checkmate. If b6, the run is over and I have to restart. Okay, check. Queen to h6. Nice, nice. All right, en passant is checkmate. All right, we got en passant checkmate. That was actually my first run, believe it or not. That was my first recording. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.